Let's have a Sunday chat. Hello family, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. Sorry, my cat just jumped off the table and he's having a fit. I am Vicki and you're with Gravy in the Kitchen. So grab you a cup of coffee or a hot tea or any beverage of your choice. Let's sit down and have a Sunday chat. So this is February Sunday chat. And I want to talk about working outside of the home and money. Two very, very, very hot topics in today's world. I show on this video how you can buy in bulk, buy protein on sale, buy multiple, stick them in your freezer. I show how you could take a whole chicken that you could catch on sale, cut it up into fryer parts, or roast it the way it is, save those bones for chicken broth. I explain how we get our vegetables in bulk and how we chop those up so we can get them in the freezer so we don't lose our vegetables due to rotten in the refrigerator. We talk about all things saving money, but I want to talk about spending money. If you work outside the home, and I do have a part-time job working in a retail location close to my home, if the way you spend your money is determined on how many hours you need to work, it's not working for you. It's not working for me. It's not working for anybody. If you have rent or mortgage and utilities and gas for your car and insurance, all the things that are necessary to survive, that's one thing. But when it comes to food, you have control. Take back the control on what you're spending on food. If you find yourself eating out more than one time a month, it needs to stop. There are so many reasons why the husband and I do not eat outside the home. One, it's not healthy. You have no control over the ingredients they're using when you buy food outside your home. You have no control over the price they want to charge when you buy food outside the home. And that's whether you buy in fast food, a sit-down restaurant, a pizza, convenience stores such as like Sheetz or Wawa, where they have the full kitchens and you order from there like a sub or a chicken bowl, or doesn't matter. What they charge is ridiculous. We need to learn how to buy what we need and stop buying what we want. And the way you save money is to cook your meals at home. Build in the leftovers so you can have it the next day or even for 2 days after that. If you're a family of 4, 2 adults and 2 kids, eating out can be extremely expensive, and that is one meal. You might have a little bit left over that you can eat for lunch the next day, but price per meal, that's way too much. You need to know the prices of all the stores in your area. You need to check their sales ad, check the clearance items, and start buying food for your family at a discount. There are some weeks the husband will give me a request. Hey, if you don't mind, I would like to have this week. No problem. I do not mind accommodating his request. But before I do that, I will check all the prices to all the grocery stores in my area to see if it's on sale, who has it on sale, or how much it is at regular price. And that determines whether he gets it or not. Last week, there was the video where we did a week of meals. The husband gave me a request for country fried steak with the milk gravy and mashed potatoes. I did my research and found out Food Lion did have cube steaks on sale. It's only a 50 cents a savings per pound, but a savings is a savings, and I was able to accommodate him. Now, if I could not find it on sale anywhere, he would not have gotten it. I would have kept that as a list, keep checking prices. Once it goes on sale, then I would have bought it. If we want to have fried chicken, and I don't have any chicken in my freezer, and he's requested, or if I requested, I want fried chicken this week. If I could not find chicken on sale, we don't buy it. I will fix something else. We always have canned tomato products in our pantry. We always have chopped onions, celery, carrots in our freezer. We have our garlic pucks. We have pasta. Worst case scenario, I could make a soup. You need to know the prices in your area so you'll know what's on sale. Invest in a deep freezer, whether it's a small 5 cube or one of those huge ones that takes up a whole wall in your kitchen. But you need to find a freezer. Check Marketplace. Back in 2020, when all that craziness happened, everybody bought freezers because the food security was really, really bad at that time. So everybody bought a freezer and they put it in their house, and now they realize there is no food insecurity, which I disagree. Oh, I don't need this big freezer. Let me sell it on Marketplace. You can find them on Marketplace. Get you a freezer, whether you buy it new or used. And when you find protein on sale, if your budget allows it, buy extra. Buy what you need this week, plus a couple extra to stick in your freezer so you can have food security in the future. Don't let the way you spend your money on food determine how many hours you have to work outside the house. Now, there are some people out there that work 40 hours a week. I understand. I've been there. I have been there. I've worked more than 40 hours a week. But even back then, the way I spent my money was not determine how many hours I have to work. I've always been very frugal. I was able to get the things we need, and when I caught things we want on sale, that's when we bought it. I learned how to can meats, vegetables, jams, fruit, everything. And that is where your money is going to be saved. You're going to be able to save money if you learn how to can or freeze preserve what you find on sale. We did a canning session together where we made and canned chicken broth. Well, it was a chicken turkey broth. And we canned some beans. And I broke down the price of how much each jar ended up costing me canning it myself. Yes, it's right about the same price as you could get at the grocery store. But when you look at the ingredients, they'll have salt, they'll have other ingredients in it. Mine has a little salt, and it's a good quality salt. We only use Redmond's real salt in this house, and it was water. That is it. There's no additives, there's no flavoring, there is nothing in our canned beans. And all we have to do is have ready to heat and eat canned beans on our pantry shelf. When I can find chicken breast on sale, I will buy a whole bunch of those and put them in jars and can up chicken breast. Because we like to make chicken salad with the canned chicken, a little bit of Miracle Whip, salt and pepper, and that is it. I do like relish and onions in mine, but the husband doesn't, so I'll just add it onto my sandwich when I make it. We make our own homemade, frozen, ready to heat and eat pizzas. It is cheaper to do it at home, and we have control over the quality of the ingredients versus buying frozen pizza or even a pizzeria pizza from elsewhere. We make our own bread for French toast and put those in the freezer. You need to find time in your busy life, and parents, I do understand it is a busy life if you work outside the home, but you need to find a day dedicated on making your own homemade frozen items. There are so many videos out there, and I have a few on how to cut up a whole chicken into fryer parts, how you can save those bones to make a homemade chicken broth, how to can it. You can freeze it if you don't have a canner, but I want you to learn new things to do for your family in your kitchen. If you have any questions that you want answers on how to do a certain task in your kitchen, please leave a comment below and I will do my best to answer it. Now, you know, we started last month in January. We're doing a 12-month challenge where you take one kitchen task that you've never done before, learning it for that month. And we're at the end of the year, we will have 12 new things that we learned in the year of 2024. If you've never made homemade bread, learn how to make homemade bread. You have a whole month to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. And then you will have the ability to make homemade bread anytime you want. Learn how to cut up a chicken and make fryer parts from it. You have a whole month to learn how to do it. First time's not going to be perfect, but you can learn from those mistakes and perfect your skill on cutting up chicken. Learn how to cook from scratch. Stop relying on the pre-packaged boxes in the grocery store and make it yourself. If your family enjoys those hamburger helpers or those little packets of Knorr rice or pasta sides, learn how to make it homemade with real ingredients. If you've never made homemade Alfredo, you buy the jar already made Alfredo, learn how to make Alfredo from scratch. Super simple. Heavy cream, butter, Parmesan cheese, salt and pepper. That's it. And heavy cream, as well as all dairy products, freezes great. You can, when you find heavy cream on sale, or if it's been clearance because the expiration date is really close, buy it, stick it in your freezer. It freezes wonderful. Learn how to buy what you need this week and buy a few extra to put as a back stock for those times that you want it and it's not on sale. That's what we do in Grammy's Kitchen. That's how we prepare our pantry. We buy what we need, buy extra, and stick it in the pantry. As I was talking about the freezer, that you can find them on Marketplace because people think food insecurity is not a thing. Trust me, I'm telling you, it is a thing. Maybe not food insecurity of what's available in the grocery store, but food insecurity for your home. If you or your spouse happens to not be able to go to work for a week, a month, a year because of an injury or a medical situation, are you going to rely on your friends and neighbors to feed you? No, they're struggling just like you are. They can't help you. You might have a friend that will bring a dish or two to your house, but that's not security. That's generosity, and we do appreciate it. But when you're unable to work for any length of time, you need to know you have the basics to make a week's worth of meals, if not a month. I personally suggest you have 3 months worth of ingredients in your house to make 3 months of meals, whether that's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If my husband or myself are unable to go to work for any length of time, we have flour, we have yeast, we can make bread if we have to, and eat that bread as sandwiches if we cannot be able to go to the store and get the husband's favorite bread. We have protein in our freezer and on our shelves that we can make a soup or a pasta dish. Really simple, something that's filling, nutrient dense, but yet filling and fill us up and we are not hungry. The last thing you want to tell your children before you put them to bed is, I'm sorry you're going to bed hungry. We just don't have the money for food. And that breaks my heart, just thinking that's what you're going to have to do. We do not want to go to bed hungry ourselves, and we do not want to send our children to bed hungry. Learn how to have food security. Now, if you cannot afford a freezer, even from Marketplace when they're marked down, utilize the freezer attached to your refrigerator. When you're making a casserole dish, whether it's a lasagna or some kind of a chicken dinner or whatever, meatballs, it doesn't matter. Double or triple your recipe and get that in the freezer. Because there are going to be times when we're unable to make a meal or afford it. We have food security in our freezer. Now, if I touched a spot in your heart that's making you wonder, do I have food security for 3 months or beyond? And if your answer is no, you need to change how you're spending your money. If there's anything you would like for me to show you in my kitchen, leave a comment below and tell me, and I will be glad to incorporate that into our videos, whether it's taking you along to the grocery store and shopping for food to go into our freezer or onto our shelves. How to make a homemade version of Hamburger Helper. How to make Alfredo sauce. How to store dairy products. Now, you know, every week I pick up a gallon of milk and a dozen eggs from my local herd share in my area. We always separate the heavy cream from the top and we keep that in the freezer. I probably have about anywhere between 1.5 gallons to 2 gallons in pint-sized jars in my freezer at any given time. But that doesn't mean I need to stop saving that heavy cream. I will continue to save that heavy cream. But there's always a little bit of heavy cream left on the top of the milk that I'm unable to remove without getting the milk out with it. That actually adds what's called a fat cap on top of that milk. If you go to the grocery store and you buy conventional milk, look at the expiration date. It's usually within 2 to 3 weeks from the day you pick it up. But that doesn't take an account of them actually removing the milk from the cow, taking it to the processing plant, getting it processed and into jars, to the warehouse of that grocery store, on a truck to your grocery store. How many days or weeks has it been before you pick up that gallon of milk that milk was removed from the cow? And you only have 3 weeks to consume that milk. When I pick up my local herd share milk, she usually draws that milk the day or 2 days before I pick it up. So it's only 24 to 48 hours old at the time I pick it up. Once the heavy cream separates, we remove that heavy cream, put that in the freezer. But it's always that little bit of cream that's on top. It's a fat cap. It helps seal that milk, and it actually has a longer shelf life. I have had milk in my refrigerator for 2.5 weeks. And you gotta understand, I'm picking up a gallon of milk every week. And when it's getting to the point where, well, I got way too much milk in my refrigerator, I will make mozzarella from it. No waste. I am not throwing that milk down the drain that I paid hard-earned money for. I will turn it into another product, and I will use it in another recipe, whether it's a baked pasta dish or on my pizzas. It doesn't go to waste. That's what you need to know. Not only how to shop on sale and in bulk, but also how to have no waste in your refrigerator. Video I'm going to have coming up at the end of the week, my week-long meals for this week. We had cooked a whole chicken that we shared with the family that I'm helping with food, and some small household tasks for them due they're unable to do it themselves. We kept half of that chicken, and I turned that chicken that was left over from the husband and I eating for meals for 2 days into, right there, a penne Alfredo with chicken. And I used some homemade mozzarella grated right on top. No waste. The chicken didn't go to waste. The heavy cream didn't go to waste because we keep that in the freezer. The milk didn't go to waste because we made mozzarella from it. No waste. Learn how to make a meal and then turn the leftovers into a new meal. That way you're not throwing your food away. You're not throwing your money away. And now you have to work an extra 3 or 4 hours this week to make up what you threw away. Stop it. I need you to think how you're spending your money, and stop letting that determine how many hours you need to work. Set yourself a budget, a certain amount based on the amount of people in your house, what you're allowing yourself and your family to spend for food every week. And see if you can cut that price back. Buying on sale, buying clearance meat that's close to the expiration date, and stick it in your freezer. Every dollar you save today will determine how many hours you don't have to work next week. Build up a food security in your house. Learn how to shop for discount, close to expiration date, sale protein. And every dime and every dollar you save, you don't have to work. If you're trying to get out of the workforce so you could be a stay-at-home parent, take control over your spending. Like I said, we cannot control what we pay for rent or mortgage, for utilities, for gas for our cars, for insurance. But we can take control on how we spend our money on groceries. I just want to say thank you for hanging out with me as we did our Sunday chat. And I hope you enjoy these Sunday chats, because during the month I have thoughts in my head that I would like to convey to you and your family on different subjects, whether it's canning or cooking or money saving or pantries. And I hope you receive this not as punishment or talking down to you, because that's not where it's coming from. It's coming from my heart to get you to understand, from a parent, from a grandmother, how to change what you're doing today on how you live tomorrow. But again, thank you for hanging out with me. Until next time, you have a blessed day. Cheers.